welcome back to Content Culture. It's your girl, Tomi.
And I'm Nicole.
And we are here back again. I'm so excited. If you can see our little setup, if you're watching on YouTube, we have mics, we got headphones going on. We're leveling up, baby.
It's getting very official.
Sierra told us to, and that's what we're doing. So here we are.
What a week.
What a week. Tell me about your weekend. How was your Memorial Day weekend? What did you do?
You know, I was really lazy. I actually did my first, you're gonna die. I did my first virtual video date this weekend.
Oh, fascinating. You know, I live vicariously through you and your date stories because, you know, I've been locked up. So I need to know. How does that even work?
So I was really nervous. I went all of quarantine without doing this because I was like, I'm not doing a video date. I'm not doing a video date. And I've been messaging this guy. He disappeared for a month. So I was like, you know, he's gone. He popped up Friday and he said, hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to go out? And I was like, after not hearing from you for a month? No, fam, I don't want to go out. So
wow.
He was like, what did he say? He said, fortune favors the bold. You know, we should go out. And I said, real bold to think I'd want to go out with you after not hearing from you for a month.
If it's one thing men will have, it's the audacity. And we know that.
Amen. So and he was like, oh, are you upset? And I was like, no, I'm not upset. But I was like, it was 9 o'clock at night when he asked this. It wasn't it was in the afternoon. It was 9 at night. So I was like, sis, I got the bonnet on.
Right. Skincare routine finish, you know?
Right. I'm a glowing donut. I'm perfectly creamed. I got the bonnet on. My glasses aren't even on because I've got the bonnet on. I have the sleep app up. I've got white noise going.
Love it. Mouth guard in. I mean,
and then you want to ask me if I want to go out to a bar at 9:30 at night? No, I absolutely do not. So I was like, no. And I was like, you know, if you want to be bold and impress me, maybe you should make an effort to make plans before 9 p.m.
Right.
And not ghost for a month.
Also correct.
And I feel like some guys don't like when I'm that straightforward. They're like, oh my God, she's a bitch. But the next morning, Tomi, he messaged me at 8:30 in the morning and he was like, good morning, Nicole. I'm messaging you this morning so that we can create plans. I want to make sure I'm early enough to be here.
He said, here's the doodle poll. Tell me when you're available. I'll send you the Google Calendar invite.
He didn't send the doodle, but he was like, here are the ideas I have. Here's the different times I'm available. Just let me know.
Initiative.
And I kind of regretted it because I was like, I don't really feel like doing a video date now, but because I made such a big deal about it, I was like, I guess we're doing a video date now. So we had a video date Monday.
Okay.
And I thought it would be really awkward. It was lovely. It was nice.
So did you were you both eating? Were you both sipping a coffee?
No, we didn't do anything like that. We just kind of sat and talked for an hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like an interview at all.
No. I thought 15 minutes and it'll feel very awkward and I'll try and be I've got to go. But we talked for about an hour. Tomi's shook right now.
I'm shook. This is the one.
So yeah, I told him not about my newsletter, but about my dating horror stories.
Okay.
And he sent me an article today from The Atlantic about screenshot gremlins. So he's either the one or he's not the one. You know, those are the two.
Was that So, but was he someone that had an animal? Are you someone that he would be in the newsletter next week?
No, he's not. No pets. No pets.
Okay, so there's still good signs there.
Yeah. So
maybe
there's a little potential. We don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I did that, ran some errands. It was cold and rainy here. What was it like for you? I know you went to Georgia.
Yeah, so we drove down to Georgia on Friday and it was nice. It was nice and sunny. Rained on Friday, but after that, it just made the weather perfect for the whole weekend. Just hung out by the pool. And it's weird now. I'm getting to the point with my hometown that I've almost lived out of my hometown longer than I lived there.
Wow.
And so it's weird to like just come back and it's like pretty much just see family and leave. But this time I was able to see one of my like good childhood friends. She was also at my wedding. And then my mom was like, oh, I'm going to drive you around and show you all these things that have changed with our city because like, I'm so excited you have extra time here because you're here for the full like long weekend. And so she kept trying to drive around and show me things. I'm like, no, that was there. Like last time I checked, like that was there when I was in high school. And it came to the end of it and I was like, okay, so what has changed is just a couple restaurants and not even like the true exterior of the restaurants. They just kind of swapped out the signs. And I was like, well, there you go. That's Columbus, Georgia for yeah.
They updated the branding.
Yeah, they got a new branding suite. But no, all in all, it was really nice to just be able to hang out with them because last year was difficult because they're all in healthcare. And so like I couldn't even really hug them, couldn't really spend that much time with them. So to be kind of able to breathe and hang out, it was just a blessing. So
yeah, that sounds fantastic, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
So we are going to finish recapping Katie's Men in a little bit, but we are going to start by talking about the Bachelor offseason because we haven't talked about Batch in a while, other than last week,
right?
In a while.
Which is a while for us, okay? Gosh.
A long time. So I figured we'd start out with a topic that my DMs did blow up over this when it happened. I don't know if yours did.
Okay.
And that is the reality Steve drama that unfolded during the offseason.
Yes. Why don't you give a quick rundown of what happened?
Yes. So reality Steve, I would say, is probably the top spoiler account in Bachelor Nation, like the biggest. His website is based off of Bachelor spoilers. He hasn't been right. He's been a little off.
But he's been in the game for like over a decade, I think.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a long time. I'd say he's like the OG of Bachelor bloggers, right? And so Chatty Broads, another Bachelor podcast run by Becca Martinez and Jess, blanking on her last name.
Ambrose, I think. But she was not on The Bachelor at all.
She was not. Becca was. Kind of went through some of his... They found a Reddit post about some of the things he said that were troubling, and they went back through his website where he had really been demeaning to women and misogynistic, at times racist. Trying to think what else he was. None of it was really good. It was all kind of like very nasty things. I do think his writings have gotten better in recent years, but he had not taken these posts down and had never apologized for them publicly.
Right.
And so they did an episode about it and reading some of it. And once they did, contestants started coming forward and saying, like, this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. Demi from Colton's season came forward and said that he had texted her, I believe, about having a sex dream about her, and then asked her to keep it between them and not tell anyone. So it kind of seemed like he was being manipulative and knew what he was doing was wrong.
And also keep in mind, I don't think they had ever met at that point, too.
No,
right?
And I think this was like one of their first conversations.
Right.
So, so they kind of were talking about like the power dynamic of being someone that is so big in Bachelor Nation and swaying public opinion, and then talking to women this way. And so at first he was very defensive and was like, there's nothing wrong, blah, blah, blah. It was a joke. And then he kind of said, like, I never thought about the power dynamic. Eventually he came forward and apologized. But he's still kind of persona non grata.
I think it was interesting to me, first of all, I didn't realize until 2021 that this was a straight man. So
when his like, yes, that was the other thing. He
approach to a lot of Bachelor Nation things.
Oh, sorry,
it cut off.
No, you're fine. So you said that you didn't know he's a straight man. When he texted Demi, he actually had a girlfriend at that point, which is a little weird. I don't know if I were dating someone, a man, and then I found out they were like texting another woman, like, I'm having sex dreams about you, ha ha ha. Like, I don't know that I'd be like, cool.
Love it. Let's keep on going.
Yeah.
Probably not. I would find that extremely disrespectful. But yeah, it kind of makes me look at his critique and commentary in like a completely different light, because the vibes that I got from a lot of the posts that were pulled up on this Reddit thread was like someone who considers himself to be like the nice guy, you know, and then they get mad when women don't like them because they just happen to be like slightly decent human beings and think that that must mean like women are bitches or just like will never give people like him a chance. And that's kind of how it felt specifically for like Jade, who was farmer Chris Soules' season, I think. And the huge story about her was like it came out while she was on the season that she had modeled for Playboy. And so I think he was like slut shaming her and saying all this stuff and said like he couldn't believe that she had been a victim of abuse because she had modeled for Playboy before. And it was like all of these very like archaic ways of thinking and especially when it came to women that I'm like, oh, this is very weird. And then when you think about, again, like the power that he has, he's able to sway this public opinion. Like it's the reason why people still have a hard time accepting Rachel Lindsay's relationship and loving them, even though they're married. And it's been like years since the show because Reality Steve was the one that said, oh, it was Peter who won. And so when that like switch happened at the end of saying, oh, actually, no, it was him, it turned the tables. And that has happened like multiple times with people's real relationships. And I think, you know, I know he doesn't really think about it that much, but like these are people's real lives that he's messing with and affecting their mental health post show. And it has seemed like he's been very careless up until this point. And especially with the Demi situation, like that's completely unacceptable. And I hope going forward, people kind of just like stop going to him for tea. They just go to all those other like Instagram accounts, go to other people's podcasts for interviews, and he can just slowly crawl back into the hole that he came from.
Yeah. Because you're right. It was completely unacceptable. I know I listened to the Chatty Broads episode that Jade was on and hearing her story from her point of view and some of the things that were said, like you brought up, she's a survivor of sexual assault. And, you know, I guess he said, oh, now it totally makes sense why she was in Playboy. It was just like so inappropriate. I know Jenna came on and told her story. And then people that I hadn't really thought about, like Victoria Fuller, you know, she was on the show during Peter's season. There were some rumors about her that I would say Reality Steve really was responsible for amplifying and like making public.
Mm-hmm.
And like that's her reputation for the rest of her life now.
And he kept saying, I have this proof, I have this proof, I have this proof. And then he didn't show it. Because I understand like it's difficult to report on anyone because they're real people. But the main part of it is to have like this journalistic integrity and to share, like if you have proof, then to share that with the readers, the consumers. So when you don't provide that, and then you're not accurate in your reporting, you're not taking it professionally, because if another journalist, had that same type of communication with someone they were interviewing outside of that time of how he contacted Demi, their career would be like over.
I mean, it's a Me Too thing. You would be Me Too, right?
Right. So you can't have this. I'm sorry, YouTube. Nicole's just putting on lip gloss.
I just realized I forgot before we started. And was like, let me put some gloss on real quick. Tomi's talking.
I just loved you. Just pulled it out and was like, yeah, for real, girl. That. I don't even remember what I was saying now. It was just so funny to me. Oh, but no, that Reality Steve just, he can't have it both ways. He can't be wanting to be taken seriously and then also do shit like this. So it's time's up, okay?
Time is up. We are no longer, and also his website, baby.
Oh my
the design.
God. He put so many ads on there that's like just pops up. And it's like, when you go to those websites where it's like, oh, I lost 60 pounds with this whatever pop up, and it's like pills and like weird body parts that you're like, I don't even know what part of the human body that is. That's what comes up on his site. And I'm like, I don't think times are that tough, sir. You get hundreds of thousands of views per day.
Right. I'm just waiting for a pop-up that says like, we found a relative of yours that has $1 million they want to send you. Just send your banking account info. I'm waiting. So it's really bad. We don't need to read a site anymore. Next up, happier news. Kaitlyn Bristowe, former Bachelorette and now maybe Bachelorette host. Well, Bachelorette host for Katie's upcoming season. Got engaged to Jason from Becca's season.
Yay!
We love it. We love.
It's funny. I've gone like through this whirlwind of a relationship with Kaitlyn Bristowe because I absolutely loved her season. I loved how she was not one of the first iterations of like sex positivity, because I think there were a couple bachelorettes before her that I did not watch, but how she did have sex in the show. And if it wasn't for her, like I think the approach to Hannah Brown's season, where she had sex with Peter 4 times in the windmill, would have been very, very different. Like she opens the doors for people to be like real about these relationships and say, if I'm going to be engaged to you, this is the life that, we got to kind of figure out. And I was heartbroken when it didn't work out with her and Sean Booth, which was her final person, because they were just so well suited. You could see the chemistry on screen. It was one of those first seasons where I was like, oh, dang, this show works, because like you could just feel it. And so I think a lot of things with like insecurity from both of them kind of happened and led to the demise of that relationship. But her being able to get with Jason Tartick, and I think they met on, or like he called into her podcast or something.
Yes.
And that's how he ended up proposing to her, was they were recording a podcast episode and they'd done like multiple episodes and stuff together. They were about to go down to Mexico and hang out with her family for the first time since COVID. And had this like little questionnaire, and they're just kind of like reminiscing over like fun relationship things. And then he asked her, and I suggest you go and listen to the episode, because I loved hearing her real-time reaction of all of the curse words just flying, and she couldn't believe it was happening. And you know what, girl, I agree, because the size of that ring, dangerous.
The ring, beautiful.
Loved it.
Immaculate.
Stunning.
But yes, I agree with Tomi. Definitely listen if you haven't. I listened to the portion of the engagement, and at first I was like, they got engaged on her podcast, but the way they edited it showed you like when they first talked on the podcast, when he asked her out, like all of these different things that have happened, and then him proposing, and it was very sweet.
And that it's also weird to me, because I watched Hannah B season and I did not think he was cute. The weird
Becca
hair
season?
Yes, Becca season. That's what he was on. And I did not think he was cute. His hair was kind of doing weird things for me. So the evolution of kind of like how he's grown, and also I love how supportive he is of her brands and all the things that she's doing. And I like how he kind of doesn't use her to capitalize on his own stuff too. Like he's building out things from being MBA finance type of guy, and he has like his own podcast that's talking about money, which they also had a really good episode with Dean from Rachael's season, talking about like how much they get paid for Paradise and stuff. Great episode. Definitely go listen to that. So it's cool to kind of see how they're both doing their own thing, being successful, and then coming together and having this. I'm excited for them, and I can't wait to see those wedding photos whenever they happen. I'm sure they're gonna get married within a year.
Yeah, I feel like she had posted something like long engagement or short engagement. I could see her being a short engagement person. I just think they're so cute. I'm happy for them.
Same.
Next on the list, do you I shouldn't say do you. Will you please talk about Peter Weber, Pilot Pete, and Miss Kelley Flanagan for us?
So I'm sure I'm not alone in saying that Peter Weber's season of The Bachelor was probably one of the most chaotic things I've ever seen. It was like, honestly, and I watched The Bachelor in a lot of reality TV in the lens of like, this is like a psychological experiment of humans and how we interact with each other. So this, I was like, oh, we get to see a fuckboy in real life, like up close and personal, of someone who doesn't know how to create boundaries, of someone who struggles with relationship with women because of the toxic relationship he has with his own mother. It was fascinating to me. And to kind of see that it didn't work out with his F1 Hannah Ann Sluss, because, he was still into other people. So he ends his engagement trying to get with Maddie Pruitt, War Eagle. She went to Auburn. And she was kind of cornered into that situation because Chris Harrison kind of like comes to her house and says, hey, you need to try and get back with this guy so we can have our happy ending, dang it. And then was, attacked on the couch after the final rose by his mother, Barb, which I don't think my mouth has ever been open that long watching a piece of television. I was shocked. And from there, he then went to his 6th place person, which was Kelley Flanagan, who was someone that he did meet before the show. And I thought it was going to be this really cute, like, meet cute thing of, it's meant to be, because they met at, like, I think a wedding reception. Like, he was at the hotel for, like, something else, and she was at the hotel for something else.
High school reunion, yeah.
Yes, and then she was there for a wedding reception. Right. And so I thought it was going to be this really cute thing, and then she ends up being cast on the season. And I think what producers wanted, because I don't think they encourage they don't want to have that story work out where someone met before the show and then they're at the end, because then they're like, then what are you doing here for the show? Like they're not able to create and control that storyline. So I understand that they were probably suppressing her time with him, and you could kind of feel that as you watch the season. And so then afterwards they get together. They're together for like 11 months. You thought, oh my gosh, is this the relationship for him that works out? But no. In true Pilot Pete fashion, it also ends in flames.
Yes. So they were moving to New York together. She lived in Chicago. He is a pilot and, is based in LA, I believe, or was based in LA.
Yeah.
But they were going to get a place together in New York. They had signed the lease, and like a week before he, I guess, ends things with her.
Yeah.
And then posts about it before she's like ready to announce it.
Yes.
But
I will say, I think I read that it was because producers or someone like said, oh, out of courtesy to Matt James's season, can you wait until his season starts airing so that it's buried in like that news versus. So it's not necessarily that she didn't know they were going to break up, but he did it before they had kind of agreed to do it together.
Okay. So he posts about it on Instagram. She just seemed really unbothered in the days leading. Like he posted like, Kelley and I have decided to split ways, and she just didn't post anything because I guess she was like, this is what we agreed upon.
Right.
So I'm just not going to post about it. But yeah, she just did an interview with Barstool last week and kind of like alluded that maybe he was unfaithful, said that she told him to get the hell out of her life. Apparently he was talking to her astrologer. It all
mess, a lot of mess. And it was interesting in true like men fashion of he was like, you need to move on. Why hasn't she moved on? But he was the one that kept contacting her like throughout this entire time. Like she was trying to move on. She was dating other people, and he knew that she was dating other people, and he's still saying like texting her and asking her all these things and whatever. And it's just like, come on, Pete. Come on. And I loved there was a line too that she was talking about, oh, I tried to kind of change myself for him and get into some of the stuff that he likes, like Pokemon cards and clubbing. And she's like, but I just had to realize like that wasn't me.
Okay, but did you see over the weekend, Memorial Day weekend, he was partying with the Pikachu head on?
Yes. Randomly with Victoria Justice, but apparently they're childhood friends.
Yes.
So that was interesting.
It was.
But you could tell like from the podcast response from Peter that was one of the main things that hurt him. He's like, you can talk about my character. You can say I was cheating on you, but how dare you disrespect the Pokemon cards? Have some class, ma'am.
We've got to draw a line somewhere.
But Pelly's no more, and I had said since the end of his season that he needed to take a break from women for like 2 years. Because how do you go from relationship before going to Hannah Brown's season, Hannah Brown coming onto your season and you breaking down because you're still basically in love with her, getting engaged.
And asking her to come on your season.
Right. Getting engaged, going to another girl, and then back to the girl who was in 6th place before. You need a break, sir. You need a break. You are not someone who is needing of a relationship right now.
I'm just going to say this now. I better not see Peter Weber on Paradise.
Oh, are you kidding me? I would love it. Imagine having Peter there and Peter's Victoria F is there, Maddie there, Hannah gold, TV gold, and I bet they're throwing bushels of money of him to try to get him to be there because they know Peter will never be able to make up his mind and he'll be like in another triangle on the beach.
He would. So it could be good TV. And then last thing, we just talked about Memorial Day weekend partying, and you know who was partying together Memorial Day weekend? The boys, Matt James, Tyler Cameron, and their new respective girlfriends. Tyler has just gone public with his girlfriend Camilla, a model, and Matt and Rachael are back together after she gave him an ultimatum and told him to get it together.
Yeah. And they've been together for a while, but they made it like Instagram official, and it was not even this like big deal thing. It was just like, oh, here's this photo. Like, let's move on. Let's keep it moving.
Yeah.
A lot of thoughts.
I don't know.
A lot of feelings.
I just, I have a soft spot for Matt James because his season was dumpster fire. I felt like the producers did him dirty. He didn't know what he was getting into because he was coming as someone that had not been on the show before. But at some point, I've got to hold him accountable for his clown behavior. Okay. And he really put those shoes on the other day and said, I'm going to be with Rachael.
Stepped in the tiny car.
Yeah. But go ahead and beep. But I can't back you anymore. Can't back you anymore, my man.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm also. Oh, let me not use these words, and you guys have a soundbite forever for me to say. But I'm kind of with Rachael, where I'm like, this guy like basically dragged you through the mud for like you were crying or whatever on TV, and like he didn't look at you, and then you take him back. Like, also, you girl need to move on. I just couldn't imagine fighting for something when you aren't even engaged, you haven't been dating for more than like 2 months type of thing. Like why putting all this extra energy and stress on it when it wasn't even anything to begin with?
Well, then he kind of like dragged her along too, right? Because he was like, well, maybe if you do some work, we can get back together. But like he's going out with other women during this time and she's still like, please take me back. Like,
right.
The way I would delete the number, when Matt James texted me, it would say maybe Matt James. Like that's where we would be at this point. So,
oh my gosh,
I want better for both of them. That's what I'll say.
But you know what? If they're happy, sure. I guess we're kind of happy. Move on. Tyler Cameron is apparently doing good things with his girlfriend. They've been together for a while, so
she's pretty.
Gorgeous.
I thought she was light skinned, but I think she is
a Caucasian.
I think she is a Caucasian. I think she is one of the racially ambiguous.
I know. I also thought as well. I thought it was giving a little bit of blackfishing, but I think it's just I think she's just has curly blonde hair.
Good for them. I love love. We love love here. We love love here at Content Culture. So if they're happy, we're happy, right?
Of course.
Back, we are going to break down the second half of Katie's men for her season of The Bachelorette. Tomi is going to kick us off. We are starting up with Josh from Miami, Florida.
Yes, so Josh is 25, IT consultant, and just from first vibes with the photo, he has a very great smile. He looks nice. He looks friendly. I could see him getting on sand. It says he loves hard work. There's really no other way to put it. Alrighty. He's humble, kind-hearted, and goofy. Hopeless romantic. He's extremely family-oriented. He consistently strives to be genuine and wants to find a partner who will do the same. And he wants to bring someone home that can hang with his amazing family for a night of barbecue and playing cards, and is his dream come true. He plans to show his future wife and kids the same unconditional love he had when he was growing up. And really, who could ask for anything more? He hopes to travel to Asia one day, has to sleep on the right side of the bed. Okay. And so he starts celebrating Christmas in October, which is funny that this is kind of like the difference between him and this other guy who said he was like a Halloween person. So
do we think there's going to be a conflict there between those two?
Maybe they're fighting words, but yeah, I don't have any vibes besides middle of the pack for me. Mm-hmm. But he seems very kind. Let's hope I say middle of the pack. It might even be night one. What do you think?
Yeah, I was trying to think. I was like, is there anyone we'll have to say at the end if there's anyone on here that we're like, that's night one. Night one. Yeah. I would think he lasts the first couple weeks. I think he's an early departure. But I would think he makes it past the first night.
Okay. Perhaps. But yeah, good for you, Josh.
Good for you, Josh. Next up is Justin. He's 26 from Baltimore, Maryland. He's an investment sales consultant. Again, the pictures are not doing these men justice.
At all.
Here's what you need to know about Justin. It says that he is one hell of a catch, tall, handsome, has a great career in investment sales, and is an extremely talented painter, apparently. Comes from a loving family. His parents have been married over 30 years, and so he has an example of what a successful relationship should look like. While he has been dating around, he's never settled, and he hasn't found the one. He says that he wants someone that is beautiful inside and out. He enjoys barbecuing. He hopes that his partner is passionate about fitness and a good bottle of wine. He says he's very romantic and looking for a strong, intimate connection. Fun facts, he does not like to dance at all. Interesting. His favorite artist of all time is Basquiat.
I'm not on that page. Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Okay.
And if he could be any superhero, he would be Black Panther.
Okay. How old is he again?
He is 26.
Okay.
I think he could be. I think he could be someone that goes home night one. I'm gonna be honest.
Right. I was about to say it's very funny that we just said that, and I'm like, no, he is night one. Tragic.
Yeah.
Good looking guy.
But best of luck, Justin.
Yeah, I almost think there's another podcast that I absolutely love called Game of Roses. And when they do their breakdowns, they look at people's Instagrams. And I'm definitely going to suggest that for the next season because I feel like you can learn a lot more about a potential person coming in from their Instagram or social media than from these really poorly worded bios and cast headshots, because everyone knows you can also like do your better photos for the gram. It's like whenever you're like about to date someone and you're showing them to your friend group and you're like, this is him. And they're just crickets.
Exactly.
Do you have another photo? That's how I feel.
Yes.
That's how I feel. All in all, not the, a cast of 10s. It's no Matt James' season, but we'll keep it moving. So we have Carl, who's 34. He's a motivational speaker from Miami, Florida. Says he's charismatic and confident, who is here to find his forever love. He loves to have a good time, and more specifically, make it a good time for everyone around him. He has had long-term relationships, so that's good. But says he has had a hard time fully committing because his professional goals have outweighed his personal ones. Interesting, as a motivational speaker. All right. He's looking for someone who has off-the-charts chemistry. She should be fun and spunky and also love those same qualities in him. He's the type of guy who will take you jet skiing on a date and then read you a poem he wrote himself. Okay, no, I'm done with this man. Nothing is off the table for Carl. For Carl, life's an adventure that always needs a little extra spice, and if Katie is ready to turn up the heat, then they're bound to hit it off. Fun facts, his favorite holiday is New Year's Day because he loves the feeling of a fresh start. Very motivational speaker of him. He loves to play chess, and he also speaks English and French.
I would send this man home on the first night because I do not want a motivational speaker as my husband.
Yeah. Just imagine you trying to get like those extra 10 minutes of sleep on a Saturday. It's like, come on, Nicole.
Yeah.
It's the morning.
Right. It's LLC Twitter, but it's sleeping next to you. He's saying rise and grind, like it's time to go.
Invest now. And you're like, no, I'm just trying to sleep.
Right. Like I'm just trying to go to Target and like spend $20 in peace. And he's like, but what if you invested that into crypto?
And some Dogecoin.
Right. So this is not a man for me. I also think it's interesting that this is the third guy now, at least, that has said his favorite holiday. So I wonder if that was like a question.
It must have been. But I'm also like, why did you have to share that with us multiple times? I don't know.
Is there nothing more interesting about these men? This is the most interesting of 3 facts. This is the most interesting thing you could give me is that he loves New Year's Day because he wants a fresh start.
Precisely.
I just feel like that conversation is going to be real stilted. There's not a lot to talk about.
Yup. Sorry, Carl.
Right. Sorry. Next up, we have Kyle. Picture's looking good.
Yeah. Alrighty. I see you, Kyle.
He is 26. He's a technical recruiter from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And he's not afraid to admit that he is looking for a romantic comedy kind of love. I love that.
I kind of like it.
He says he's a hopeless romantic. He has only ever wanted to live a one-woman kind of life. Okay, so he might be a cheater, but if he says he's like, I'm a one-woman kind of guy, I question it.
Really? You think that automatically means, oh, he's the opposite?
I'm suspicious.
Okay.
He is ready to settle down and start a family, but needs to find the right woman. Looking for a woman that is intelligent, athletic, compassionate, and always down to try new things. She should love to travel and be up for adventure. He wants someone that will make him laugh and enjoy a life filled with passion and romance. He's looking for the princess to his Prince Charming. Some fun facts about Kyle. Steve Irwin is his lifelong idol.
Okay.
His favorite flower is an orchid. He hates mayo and mustard. And he would love to be able to fly so he never has to sit in traffic again.
Okay, I'll be honest. I enjoy his bio.
I'm suspicious, but I like that he's looking for a romantic comedy love. I feel like that makes him endearing.
I would not say night one or middle. I would say top 8 kind of vibe.
Okay. I'm writing down his name as someone I think that could potentially make it.
The pen is open for the first time today, ladies and gents. So here we go.
All right. Watch him get cut the first night. Right. I'll be like,
these are all very funny to me because that happened with Matt James' season. And I was like, no one even remembers this girl's name. Saneh was like, I don't even know how you said it. That's because she didn't even get enough screen time to share how you say her name. There were a couple
that we loved
I was
didn't even make it.
Yeah, I was totally wrong on that. But it makes me feel better because the person who won was someone who looked exactly like her. So I was like, you know what? At least I got something down.
Close.
I was close. Kyle, I'm interested to watch. So next we have Landon. He's 25, a basketball coach from Dallas, Texas. Photo-wise, I think it's a good smile. Hair.
He does have very nice teeth.
Hair looks plentiful. It's a good sign. He's kind, handsome, and outgoing. He was ready to settle down after a very successful collegiate basketball career while working hard to receive his master's degree in global business. Landon is finally ready for marriage and children. I hope, are you Googling right now what college he went to?
Yeah.
Thank you. Because, I mean, it depends on the school for you to be able to have these claims. According to Landon, his priorities in life have changed, and he wants to find his soulmate more than anything. Landon is looking for his best friend and someone who can be goofy with him. He's a strong lover with a very big heart. He says that his only major turnoff is someone who doesn't mix well with his family. Love it. As Landon gets older, he realized there's a difference between having love for someone and being in love. Also very true. And now he's ready to leave it all on the court for the chance of something significant. Nickname is Sunshine. He is a proud and loyal believer. Loves a good game of Uno or Settlers of Catan. And Christmas lights make Landon very happy. Another holiday tidbit. My thoughts on Landon? Another top 8, top 8 to 10-ish guy.
Okay. It's funny his nickname is Sunshine because his last name, I just Googled, he played at the University of Houston, was where he played basketball. So
okay.
Not, he's D1.
They're making the tournament, yeah.
But his last name is Gosling, and his nickname is Sunshine, which was the nickname of Ryan Gosling in Remember the Titans. So it's kind of a cute moment.
There's a lot of connection there. I'm sorry, I wasn't there with you, but I support you.
Thank you. I see him getting midway through the season.
Yeah, he seems to have some confidence about him, good energy. I think if you're a grown man and can say that you're a loyal Justin Bieber fan,
you're comfortable in
yourself.
In yourself and your masculinity, and I like it.
Right. So those are my thoughts. I will also write him down just because I'll cackle if he does leave on
night one.
On night one. But I don't see him as a Final Four. I just don't see her ending up with someone who is 25, 26. I think maybe like 28 would be like the lowest that she would have, maybe 27. And if that were to be the case too, I feel like everything else would line up perfectly in bio and location for that to happen. So that's why I kind of don't see it for him. But
so next up we have Marcus, who, again, this is a good picture. I'll say it.
This latter half is really pulling their weight.
He is 30, so we've got a little bit closer in age. He's a real estate agent, and he's from Portland, Oregon. So he is not far from Katie. Not like right there, but not far. Says he's a sweet guy with a calming presence. He has built a successful professional life investing in properties, but now is ready to focus on himself. He's looking for someone smart, ambitious, and tidy. Okay. Cannot be with someone who is happy sitting on their laurels all day, so he does not want you to be lazy. This is LLC Twitter.
This is rise and grind. Yes.
And he dreams of finding a partner who brings excitement and adventure to his world. He loves to play board games, Monopoly being his all-time favorite. This does seem like hustle culture. And he loves living in Portland in the culinary scene. Good for him. It says his fun facts: he likes to have music playing at all times.
Okay.
He fears a world where soap does not exist.
All right.
He would love to be Spider-Man for a day, even though he's terrified of spiders, and he loves the LA Lakers.
Interesting. First of all, I can already tell you that this is someone who, if they were to lose that game of Monopoly, they would flip the entire board over.
Yes.
That's the energy that I get from Marcus. It's also, I mean, I don't want to diagnose anyone and their mental health things, but it feels very ADD for him to be like, I have to always have music. I have to always be, I can't sit and do this. I'm, like,
I need someone that's tidy.
Right. Like,
world without soap. Yeah.
Yeah. The soap thing. It was like, oh, a lot of things that are kind of giving us a little bit more about you. You can always need some more organization. So
I'm writing him down as a potential villain.
Ooh, interesting. Why?
I don't know. It's just, it seems like he's very particular. And so maybe him being particular about time with Katie on group dates or like in the house or resort could lead to some tension.
I think he will definitely struggle in this environment for someone who is usually setting their own schedule, doing whatever their type of things, because we know the producers like to push people to their limits.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what's going to happen with our poor boy here.
Yeah.
Villain, though. Interesting. I don't know about villain, but I definitely see some cracks happening, some breakdowns, perhaps.
I could see maybe not villain, but the story arc where you see him crack and lose it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, I agree. I don't know if you're looking at this photo of this next gentleman. What are your thoughts before we read more about him?
Tommy's not even going to tell you his name. She's like, what
Marty. I'm sorry. Marty, 25, dancer from Reno, Nevada. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so I just, for our listeners that are not watching on YouTube, I just want to like give a visual. So he is, I would guess he's a biracial. He's got his tall cut. He's wearing maybe this medium long sleeve shirt that shows the biceps and the shoulders nicely. I'll tell you what, he's been working out.
Medium indeed.
He's got double chains on. He's got light eyes.
It's like a little Mr. T.
Yeah, someone said, "Oh, this looks like Dale," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't look like Dale. It's just this is another light-skinned man."
If I was Dale, I'd be like, "How dare you compare me to this?"
Hold on, I'm leaning into my computer. I'm like, if I take his hair off, I'm like, no, he's not Dale. He's a biracial man with light eyes and a medium T.
You know how like facial hair can really do a lot for men? I think he's one of those that it could do a lot for him. If he cut the hair all the way down, did a nice beard to the face. Imagine it. Picture it with me. Go on this journey with me.
I am. I'm like, do we want no mustache, just the beard, right?
Yeah. A full, like a beard. Not like a thick one, but just like closely shaven.
I think it would help him a lot. He looks young. He looks young. I mean, good for you. That skin will be great down the line. Let me actually read something about you, Marty. How about that? It says you have big energy, big confidence, a lot of love to go around. Though Marty loves to have fun and show off his rockin' bod, underneath that boisterous exterior is a man with a sensitive soul who is serious about finding the one. He is looking for a woman who can joke around with him and enthusiastically join him for a weekend of camping under the stars. He can't be with someone who spends more time staring at their phone screen than into his eyes, as I'm rolling my own. And good communication skills are an absolute must. Marty loves to express himself through physical touch and says that he loves to love on and be loved on. Will Katie be all about the love with Marty? Some fun facts. His self-declared tagline is Marty brings the party. No. Loves horseback riding? No. Explicitly prefers to watch movies indoors? No. The way is Marty's heart is through a good bottle of cologne? No times 100. So this is the villain. This is the villain. You read the first line of the bio. He has big energy, big confidence. And I immediately was taken back to MJ from Matt James's season. What was
big
that?
Hair, big hair, big hoops, big energy. Yeah. All that, whatever.
And I was, I'm unhappy again.
Yeah.
This is the villain.
It's funny because he has light eyes if you're on podcast mode, and I love how people with light eyes like want you to really love that they have light eyes and will just open them as far as they can and stare into your soul like they're trying to sap the energy from you with the power of their irises. And that's what I get from Marty.
It reminds me of that meme of Miley Cyrus like staring really hard. You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Yes. That's the energy. Marty, interesting, especially because you have your own little tagline. They love to have people with taglines like Waboom and, you know, I don't know what Bennett's were, like Chateau Bennett or whatever. So we will see you.
And he's young. I'm writing it down as villain.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down as villain. Okay.
Ooh.
Next up, we have Michael. He's 36, so he's one of the older contestants. He's a business owner from Akron, Ohio. He's a single dad to a 4-year-old son. He says they're a package deal and he wouldn't have it any other way. He's ready to find someone to share his life with. His dream woman is compassionate, empathetic, resilient, and not easily offended. A witty woman with a funny bone and a self-deprecating
English
sense of humor is a huge turn on for Michael. He loves a woman that has strong convictions and stands up against ignorance. He says that life is short, wants to find someone that makes him a better person every day. Fun facts, he makes a mean plate of dino nuggies because he's a dad. Prefers the mountains over the beach any day of the week. And he loves 90s R&B and rap music.
Giving strong millennial vibes there. I'm surprised he didn't give his, Harry Potter house in that bio too.
Yes.
Wait, does it say how many kids he has again?
Just one, a 4-year-old son.
Just one. So you have him, and then you also have the other person who has 2 kids. I'm trying to think back on previous seasons. Do we ever see multiple people who are single parents?
I don't think so. I'm thinking, so we had Kenny on Rachael's season, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think he was the only one. He has a daughter. He has a daughter, Amanda Stanton. I don't think anyone else on that season had kids.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think who else has had kids recently. No one on Matt's season had kids.
Because if it wasn't for the kids angle here, I would have said he's a night 1. But because he does have that, I do know that they like to keep them on. But I'm like, if they already have the one from the 2 kids guy, will they keep him? So I don't know. What are your own thoughts? I do love some dino nuggies.
We do love some dino nuggies. Does he put them in the air fryer? I don't know, but it does kind of feel like his personality is being a dad, which isn't bad. But I feel like I just don't know a lot about him, even after reading the bio.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Good taste in music, though. So I'll give it to you.
Yeah, we'll take it.
So from Michael, we go to Mike, who is 31, a gym owner in San Diego, California.
Mm.
He has good eyes.
He's kind of doing the light eyes thing where he's like, stare into my soul.
You think? I think they're like a little more controlled than the other guy, but maybe that's just the difference between some blue eyes and green eyes type of things. But it says when people find out that this great looking guy used to play professional baseball, alrighty, they assume that he must be a player. But that couldn't be further from the truth. He grew up in a very loving family where the cornerstone of his upbringing was his faith. He has always been a one-woman type of guy, but due to his successful run in the MLB, dating was never really a priority in his life. Now, after retiring from baseball and opening up a gym for high school athletes, Mike is ready to focus on the missing piece in his life, finding love. He describes himself as easygoing, social, goofy, and disciplined, and he is looking for a woman who loves staying active, will make him laugh, and most importantly, has the same set of values as he does. Mike's family is extremely important to him, so ideally, he is looking to find someone whom his parents and 3 sisters absolutely adore. Mike loves his life and is 100% ready to share his life with the woman of his dreams. Is Katie that woman? Only time will tell. He does not like dessert. Occasionally describes himself as basic, or chuggy, as now the children are saying. And his goal is to visit 100 countries. Same Mike. Initial thoughts on Mike? Attractive-ish. I would not say he's attractive, but I think he fits the attractive mold for the show.
Yes.
Good age, good location, good job, good bod. I don't know. I'm seeing some kind of stronger vibes, and I think also because of like the whole strong family aspect and a little faith in there, he could potentially go far.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I don't think we know much about Katie's family, do we?
No, we do not.
Like her family background yet. So it'll be interesting. They normally will like kind of talk about that on night one with her intro package. But yeah, I hate to say again, I feel like he's middle of the pack, but that's kind of where I feel. I feel like he's not a top 4 to me, but he's not a night 1 to me either.
Well, I think he does. I don't know. I think because of like the age stuff and all the other things, like I was saying, like maybe a middle of the pack. I know we do know about her father, that her father passed away. I think from cancer, because she shared that on Matt James' season when she was kind of trying to connect with
yes,
Sarah, who went home early. So that's all I think we know. I don't know why I'm looking and I feel like
you're feeling Final Four for him, aren't you? I can see it in your eyes. You want to write it down. Write it down.
But I don't want to say it because I'm like, he's just so average kind of looking. But Mike, I'm going to write down because I think I'm at 4 right now and we still have a couple more to go.
Okay.
But for right now, I'm putting it down.
Okay. So next up, we have Courtney. He's 26. He's a nutrition entrepreneur from Dallas.
Yeah. Can you also share, I mean, obviously, because of where we are in the alphabet, you can kind of probably tell, but can you share how this man spells his name?
Yes, it's quart, like the measuring capacity for cooking, QUARTNEY. So I've got to deduct points already because I don't want to live my life being Mrs. Courtney and having to on the phone say, yep, that's with a Q, QUART. So
correct.
Not for me. Happy for him though. When it comes to putting it all out there for love, Courtney is not afraid to make a spectacle. Says he's compassionate, caring, and honest, and he will make a romantic gesture to make someone feel special. He is looking for a woman who is outgoing, ambitious, and like-minded when it comes to his religious beliefs, which are very important to him. Okay, so we have another faith contestant. He daydreams about having a family and says the number one thing he is looking for is someone to be an amazing mother to his future children. His goal in life is to leave behind a legacy, so he needs a partner that will stand side by side with him and build an empire. Fun facts about Courtney. Even though he's not great at it, he loves to country line dance. Scuba diving is at the top of his bucket list, and his idea of a perfect nightcap is a robust bonfire with s'mores, music, and dancing. I don't like this guy. That's my take. I don't really like that.
If I wasn't looking at the photo, I would think it's a white man talking about how he wants to build this like legacy thing and like having like a bunch of children, like giving me Nick Cannon vibes of wanting to just go forth and multiply. And he said like he wants a woman who can just be the mother of his kids. Like, what about as your partner, as your wife, as like, you know, love and more attributes that are just not her reproductive system?
He said, give me the uterus. He said, I'm looking for a womb.
Oh, Lord.
I just feel like Katie wouldn't be into that. Like what we've seen of her. She's not going to be interested in a man that's just like, I want you to have my kids.
Right. And that be it. She's like, okay, sounds good.
She's going to be like, so what else?
Right. It's a no from me, Courtney. I probably feel like he would get like middle of the pack or early cuts, not a night 1.
But early.
Maybe a week 4. That's just a random arbitrary number I threw out there.
You're fine. I was just looking at nutrition entrepreneur. I'm like, do you think he works for like Herbalife? I don't know.
Some MLM energy.
I kind of get it.
Also, kind of, we went back to Mike. Were you looking up what team he played for?
Yeah, he played minor league baseball.
Okay.
No, nothing wrong with that. I'm not shading that. I did not play minor league baseball, so
right.
It's an accomplishment. It says he's actually from Arizona, which was kind of weird because the bio says San Diego. He now works as a personal trainer, gym owner. But yeah, he played in 2013, so it has been a while.
It's weird. Can you say that you were in like leaving MLB? I mean, I guess the MLB does Oh, in the minor leagues too. That's
Listen,
that's a little stretch. It's a stretch though.
Listen, if I played in the G League,
I was about to say, if you play G League, are you gonna say, "Oh yeah,
no.
back from my time in the league"?
Yeah, I'm telling everybody I played NBA basketball. I'm like, yeah, I played in the league. Everyone. That's why I don't trust men, because when I see that, I'm like, let me Google this. Let me Google this real quick. You were on the practice squad? Okay.
I mean, it's fair. I'm assuming he's already over 6 feet, so he doesn't need to lie about his height, so he has to lie about something.
That's what you know. You know there's something. Something's not lining up.
So next we have Thomas. He's 28, real estate broker from Poway, California. Is a true believer that everything happens for a reason and says the timing to meet Katie could not be more perfect for him. Thomas knows exactly what he's looking for. For him, it's all about substance and true companionship, and his dream woman is beautiful, athletic, mature, and ready to be his partner in life. Ambition and thoughtfulness are two major turn-ons for Thomas, and he would love someone to stand by his side as he becomes more involved in his local community. Okay. She also must have a healthy appetite because Thomas's love language is food. Amen. He loves to show romance by his bringing his loved ones their favorite dish. And one of his favorite ways to show someone his beloved city of San Diego is through his meticulously curated tour of the best burritos, burgers, and brunch the city has to offer. Thomas, please, I'm blushing. I am blushing. Above all, Thomas is down looking for just a good time and is ready to find the one to last a lifetime. #swoon. Thomas often wonders if The Rock can really eat everything he posts on Instagram for his cheap meal days. Okay. Thomas's favorite flower is a sunflower. Thomas is guilty of rocking the Ed Hardy trend. Oh, back in high school.
I think he's a sweet man.
But
it was funny. You were reading the line about him wanting to become more involved in his local community. Mm-hmm. You sparked a memory. So we talked about it in our last episode that we were together when we recorded the first episode. And I was flying out of Charleston when I left, and my suitcase was heavy. Like, Tomi and I brought everything to Charleston. So the whole time I'm like, how am I going to get this up like above my head? I can't do it. And this sweet man behind me, before I could even say anything, said, "Ma'am, can I put your luggage up for you?" And I was like, "Oh yeah." So he put it up, and then he sat next to me on the plane and told me there was no internet. This man had a notes app opened and was writing what community organizations he wanted to get involved in while we flew.
If I didn't know better, I would feel like this is like a scene from Hitch or something, where it's like, step 1, do a chivalrous act. Step 2, tilt your phone slightly to show how philanthropic you are.
Right. Like, he was like, want to donate this money to this cause, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was like making a list of like goals for the rest of the year, I guess. They were coming back from a bachelor party in Charleston. So his friends were in front of us and he was sitting next to me. And I was like, what is happening right now? And then we land in Chicago, mm-hmm. and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get the suitcase down, because they're all talking about like how they're getting home. And before he even gets up, he turns to me and says, "Is it okay if I get your suitcase down?" I was like, he had a wedding ring on, so it wasn't like that. But I was like, someone's got a good one at home. I'm happy for her.
Watch it be a purity ring and you just fumbled the bag, girl.
No, his phone background was him and his wife.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, that was a long aside, but I do love a man that's like, I want to be involved and I want to volunteer and give back. Like, I'm a sucker for that.
I love that. Oh my, I'm really. They exist. #not all men. Anyways,
we almost threw up when she said it. She was like,
guys, I promise I'm happily married. I just like to joke. It's just for funs. It's for funsies. No, I do love that. And also, Thomas, I love that you were looking to get involved and give back.
And he's cute. He's got a nice smile.
I'm
writing him down.
Cute.
I'm writing him down as well.
What are you writing him down for?
I don't know. I'm just writing the name down.
Okay. I'm just going to write it down.
We're going to talk about why after, but I'm writing it down.
All right, fair. He's very
Next up, we have Trey. He's 26. He's a software engineer from Covington, Georgia. Says he's a handsome catch with a huge heart, comes from a very close family, and describes himself as outgoing, kind-hearted, and open-minded. He's looking for a strong, confident woman who's open to everything life has to offer. He's never one to pass up on a new experience, and he is looking for someone who's not afraid to let passion dictate life's direction. Coming from a big loving family, Trey wants as many kids as possible. Parentheses, and that he and his wife can comfortably afford. A willingness to be vulnerable is an absolute must for him, and he promises to give that vulnerability in return. He's eager to love and eager to be loyal to one woman. Some fun facts about him. His favorite activity is to meet his friends for their brunch and book club. It's kind of cute.
Okay, I love that. Sorry.
Yeah, I kind of love that.
I love a man that reads.
He loves the harmonica, and he's irrationally terrified of piranhas. See, he lost me when he said he wants to have as many kids as possible. We talked about this last week. I'm like, that's not your choice.
Right. But I do like that there is some semblance of reality that you said financially can afford.
So I'm like, he does have some grasp on reality, so we'll take it.
Right.
And then the brunch and book club is very cute.
I really hope it's all men that he's doing it with. I mean, if not, it's fine. But like, I think how
that's what I'm envisioning.
How precious would it be if it's like all the friends? I was gonna say Cracker Barrel. That's not a good option.
No.
I was trying to think of a brunch place. Those biscuits, man, they really just gotta pull you in. That apple butter. Oh,
the Lord. Casserole. It knows what it's doing.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so no, maybe not there. Maybe a better brunch place where they're all just kind of like together talking about, their thoughts on Angela Davis or something. But
yeah, like I'm imagining them at like a cute brunch patio all out there. It's very cute. I would
love it. I would love it. So what are your thoughts about him in terms of his longevity on this beloved show?
I don't think he's going to make it far. I don't know that he's night one. And it makes me sad because I'm like, this is a cute man. I hope he makes it maybe to paradise. I don't know though that he will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't see him making it beyond the first couple weeks.
Yeah. I'm almost at a night one, unfortunately.
Okay.
I think between the age, location, in terms of like what I think her ideal type is.
Yeah.
I just don't see it for Trey.
No, that's fair.
It's not night one, it's night two. So
yeah.
So that's
I could see him being someone that makes it past night one and then doesn't get invited on any dates and gets sent home. Those people, I always feel for them. I could see that being Trey, unfortunately.
That would honestly be my worst nightmare. I'm like, how dare you?
Yeah.
How dare
I
you
would be like, just send me home on night one.
Right.
Just send me home on night one if you're going to do that.
Sorry, Trey. I don't see it for you, but hopefully you last long enough to put some type of impression. Hey, grocery store Joe was only there for night one.
And listen, he has a Bachelor official podcast now. He's been to Paradise. Like, he's doing well for himself. So being a night one is not the end of the world.
It's true. The next bio that we have is simply a photo of a box. The name is a box. The age is a box. Where they're from? Question marks. Nothing for the bio. Just a mysterious box. If you see any of the promos, it's a giant box that pulls up to the mansion, or not mansion, wherever they are at the resort in New Mexico, and someone pops out. So we don't know who it is. I don't know why they're doing it this way. Like, what part of like mystery is this for? And I also I thought it was for a moment going to be Blake, who is from Tayshia's season, who is going to be on this season. I would say spoiler for that, but they put it in the official promo for this season. I did read that was happening, so I already knew, but I was shocked that they kind of put it in here because I assumed that was going to be something they're build up to,
Right.
So I don't know. They kind of showed that that's happening. They're doing this weird box thing, but for the most part, that seems to be the rest of our cast. Oh, for Blake, what do you think? Do you think that Blake will go far? I wish I had more bio stuff on him. I think age-wise, he's closer, but he gave off that, like strong sexual energy, was always on these naked dates on Tayshia's season. So I think they'll probably do little jokes about that again. Poor guy.
Yeah. I could see there being chemistry. Normally when people come back, I feel like they don't go very far, a la Heather last season. But I feel like there could be chemistry, and I kind of feel like he's someone that falls hard. Because if you think about it, you remember he came in and he was like, I'm all about Claire, and then Tayshia showed up and he was like, I'm all about Tayshia.
So he's about to be like, I'm all about Katie.
Exactly. And it'll be weird because Tayshia's going to be there, so it'll be like.
With his crimson chin.
Yeah. But yeah, I could see him doing well.
You know what? I almost think, who also kind of came back? Nick Viall on Kaitlyn Bristowe's season.
He did. I also thought about Becca Tilley, who made it
also Becca Tilley
until right before Hometowns on Ben Higgins' season. So you can make it far as someone that comes back. I guess it's hit or miss.
I think if producers like you, they will keep you for a long time because they know it makes good TV, know it might fit and do well. And I think from like the story that they could create for those two together,
yeah,
he could definitely make a top 6 type of run. I think he's like fun and like boisterous and confident. I think that they could work well together. So okay. I'm trying to debate. But
okay. Do you want to reveal your top 4 here, or do you want to wait and put it on social? I think we should do it here.
Yeah, we should definitely do it here.
I think I do have a top 4. I feel like there's going to be a surprise, but I'm ready to share my top 4.
Okay, please do.
This is my final 4 for Katie. This isn't my final 4 for me.
Right.
For Katie. So I'm going to start with Andrew M., who is the Deputy District Attorney from Newport Beach, California. He's 31.
Wait, sorry, I missed the name.
Andrew M.
Okay.
I think he's a little older. He's 31, so he's like the same age as Katie or a year older than Katie. I think that could be good. Then I have Marcus, who we just talked about. He's the real estate agent from Portland. He's 30. He's kind of close to Katie. I think he said he likes to go out and enjoy the cuisine. I like it. I'm going to say Blake M. Kind of a wild card because he's not listed here, but I feel like
I also have him.
But I feel like I'm gonna put him in top 4.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one, I have it narrowed down to 2 here. I'm trying to.
Right.
Okay.
You got it. Go with the gut.
Oh, I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna go with Greg.
It's funny that you say that because, you real loud now. But if I were to rewind the tape, you are hating on this man.
No, and that's why I went back and forth. I was gonna do Aaron. He's too young. He's 26.
Okay.
But I think 27 is right there on that age range. I want to be really clear to all of our listeners. Greg is. I think he's ugly. I don't think he's.
Sorry to this man.
Greg, if you're listening, I am so sorry. I am sure you are a lovely individual, but you are not for me.
She says you're pretty on the inside.
I think about Katie and this man together, and I'm like, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
But
Greg, if it makes you feel better, she also thinks Tom Hardy is ugly. So
yeah, so you and Tom Hardy, you're in the same category. That's probably never happened for you before.
Oh, man.
But I just feel that way. I would love to throw in a man of color, but I just I'm not seeing it this season.
Yeah. And I agree. Very good choices. Also with the Blake thing too. The reason why I think he's top 4, this is the sleuthing and the craziness that happens when you spend too much time watching this show, is because of the promo.
Yes. They wouldn't show him in the promo if
they would not show him in the promo. They want the fans to fall in love with him early on. If not, they would do it as this dramatic thing of, ooh, look at him. But that would turn your perception of like, oh, how dare this guy come and crash this show versus look at this sweet guy who was made for her. So I'm like, oh, this is fascinating. But for that same reason, I also don't think he will win because, like I said before, producers want to be able to control that narrative stuff themselves because he's already been on a show. Who knows? There might be some type of jeopardizing there. But I agree. I think he's top 4.
Okay.
I actually put Aaron as my other one. Yes, he's young.
I really like him.
But the vibes, I think he's one of the most attractive of this cast. I think energy-wise, it was giving great things. He's from San Diego. And I think because he is young is why he'll probably get cut at either Hometowns or Fantasy Suite, whatever. But I think he has a really good shot of top 4 for sure. Also have Greg because I get good vibes from him. He gives, like, his bio even said full package. I'm like, these are the little crumbs that they're giving us, people.
Here's the reason, Greg, I have some I mean, I already said this, but
yes.
Some of the sleuthing online on Greg has said he's very religious, which makes me question if he would be a good fit for Katie. But I'm still going to go with it.
And then my last one, I
can't believe you didn't put Andrew M. Man's a catch.
Let me scroll back here, children. One moment. Wait,
no, that's fine.
Did you say Marcus? Marcus is a man of color, I believe.
You're right. He is. I'm sorry, Marcus.
The disrespect. I am torn between Andrew M. And Mike, 31. And it's funny because they both have very good jobs. They're both the exact same age. They're both West Coast. And so I'm trying to think which one is different enough. But I'm just like, first of all, a deputy district attorney. I'm like, why are you even here, sir? Like,
right. Like, I'm like, it's something that I'm kind of wondering. I'm like, is something going to be off? Because he seems like a catch.
I know. I feel like I'm going to... Okay. I'm going to go Andrew M.
Welcome to the team. Join the defense.
So, yeah, let me say it one more time just because it was so chaotic. Blake, Aaron, Greg, Andrew M. That's what I've got. Ladies and ladies, let's hope I'm right and not embarrass myself and they're all gone on night one.
Okay, if you had to pick one person from this cast that you know is going to be a night one exit, who is it? Above all else.
It was definitely one of those ones towards the end. And it's
Courtney?
funny. No, not Courtney. I think when your name is that weird, they want to keep you around just to throw it up there. Just so people can be like, what the heck? I think Michael, 36. No, because he's a dad.
Marty?
No, I would say Trey. 26, software engineer from Covington, Georgia. I think location-wise, not working. Age-wise, he is a black man.
Okay, that's a good pick.
No easy way to say it.
The other one I'd pick is Gabriel, Mr. Turtleneck.
Mr. Turtleneck. Aww.
He's from Charlotte.
No. Because I wrote him down as a villain edit. I think he's going to bring some type of weird spice. Yes, the energy that he's giving to me through this photo makes me uncomfortable, but I'm sure they're like, oh, this will make for great television. So,
yeah. Okay. We have another former baseball player in here. Okay, so.
We also wanted to share too that we learned that, who did we learn? Oh, Andrew S. is Clay Harbin's cousin. Clay, I don't even remember whose season he was on, to be honest. Becca's season, who kind of sounded like Kermit the Frog, if you remember. Had a thing with Annalise in Paradise.
And Angela.
Yeah. I think I meant Angela.
Oh, yeah. I was like, when was he with Annalise?
Sorry.
Angela.
With Angela. And also is kind of weirdly conservative stuff now. But yes, there's a connection there. And there's other connection things too. It's very interesting to see how people get cast on this show. But yeah, I'll be very intrigued to see how this all goes down on those limo exits.
And we are less than a week out now.
Mm-hmm.
Monday we will be watching the premiere.
I'll be watching from Vegas on my anniversary trip. I'm like, sorry, Hubs. You can go to the slot machines, but this girl right here has got better things to do.
Yeah. Unreal.
But we are so close to being on that premiere night. What do you think we're going to see this season? Either what type of lead do you think Katie will be? Do you think there will be chaos? I'm kind of scared.
Yeah, the promos have been doing what they need to do, right? Like, she seems like she's very serious. We're seeing her give the here for the wrong reasons speech, all of those things. I think she'll be very, not emotional, but very real. Like, I don't think she's going to be afraid to say anything. She's not going to hold back.
Yeah.
And in some ways, maybe like a Kaitlyn season.
I was about to say, in comparison, like a Kaitlyn Bristowe. So like a mix between Kaitlyn and Hannah B is kind of what I'm feeling as well.
Yeah.
And that's the energy that I thought, and that's the reason why I was like, oh, I'm fine with it being the 15th place person or whatever she was of Matt James' season because of how confident she looked on there. But to see the promos and stuff that have come out, I'm like, this girl looks in pain. It looks like that TikTok right now that's famous that's like, shh, I work at the bank. And it like flips it and someone like has a fake gun to their head trying to make them say that, like, saying this. That's what it looks like. I'm like, why do you look like you're being held hostage right now to say these lines, to do these promos? When she does her own little vibe on social media, it's great. It's amazing. Yeah. Best we've ever seen from a lead from this franchise. But those things that she looks so uncomfortable that I'm like, surely she can't just flip this around for this season and bring off these strong, confident woman vibes that really help make the season what it can be.
Right.
So that's why I'm kind of scared. And that's why I'm like, okay, maybe I should have shut my mouth and said, this is why we like to keep it to the top 4, top 6 of people you really know and can connect with.
I think she'll be a good season. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I do think she'll give us a good season. I think she'll be entertaining. I think the men cast will be entertaining. It's always the cast that really carries the season. True. But I think she'll be an interesting lead. It'll be fun to watch.
Do you think she gets engaged?
I do. What about you?
I agree. I think she does because of how The Bachelorette is different and how serious they take it, how intuitive they are with their people. I can see that she'll feel confident about her choice at the end, right, and kind of go from there. So,
yeah, I could see that. Do you think we're going to see multiple fantasy suites?
Ooh, what do you mean by that? Like a get down in the get down in the fantasy suites?
Yeah, a get down in the. Are we going to see a get down? A fantasy suite.
I would say I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some fantasy suite action outside of the fantasy suites.
Okay. T.
No,
I like it. I like it. I want to see more of that.
I think she knows social media. She knows branding. Like, she knows that she is being branded as this like sex positive, confident person, sticks up for herself, no BS type of woman. So I think that would mean that she's so confident, again, from the premise, I don't feel this, but hopefully it gets there, that would happen and she would be able to like handle it, whichever may that might kind of go down. So that's what I feel. I don't know. That's because if she is going like from a Kaitlyn Bristowe type of standpoint, it's straight out of the playbook.
And I feel like she's someone that's going to play it by her own rules. Right. I think.
Right.
The promos make me a little nervous for her, but like you said, but I was like, I think she's someone that like once she's in there, she's going to be comfortable and serious and locked in. So
definitely.
I'm excited. I can't wait. I think it'll be a fun season.
Yeah, I can't believe we're already here because I remember thinking like, oh, here's this break. I'm not going to even watch this season. And here I am looking like a clown.
Mm-hmm. Here's your shoes.
Thank you. They fit too perfectly.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening. Please do not forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast listening platform. Rate us and
follow us on the gram at Content Culture Pod. Also on YouTube, we'll be uploading our own videos so you can see the reactions as we're looking at these cast photos. We'll make sure to throw them up there too so you can kind of see what we're talking about as we go through the list.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.